Well, welcome back to Gearhead Geeks, where in this video we're just going to have a nice short video about changing the oil on an H2. Nothing fancy, just going to do a little service. We'll go on ahead and adjust the chain, also lube it up, clean it up a little bit, get everything ready for the next ride. But it's oil change time, and so let's get to it. I will adjust the camera to be kind of pointing down in where we're working. And I've already got an oil pan out. And I think the first thing to do is, let's just get this cover off here. And I'm just using a hex driver with a wobble on it. And they're just 4 screws holding on this cover. The only reason I'm removing this cover is because the oil filter's under there. And they aren't the easiest to get out sometimes. So anyway, we've got an 8mm Allen here. And we'll just get a hold of that. And nice crack it loose. And I change the oil on this really often because it's just a good thing. So in reality, it's hardly even dark, but that's okay. I put a lot of miles on it. But as you can see, the oil is almost clear. It's not much darker than when it goes in, which is good. That's fine. You can live with that. It doesn't hardly smell like clutch, which is good. So now, to get this oil filter off, I have an oil filter wrench. And it's not anything fancy, but it does seem to get the job done. Get this out of the way. It's a little larger than that. There we go. And it grips it fairly well. And we'll just let that drain a little bit. Because as much horsepower as this thing makes and heat as it can produce, especially on a hot day, a supercharged motorcycle can run fairly hot. So it's better to be safe than sorry. I'd rather spend some extra dollars on oil than go on ahead and have some sort of oil-related failure or any kind of failure that might be happening. I use only Kawasaki oil. I've heard that it's made by Motul. That doesn't mean I'm right, but I don't think you can go wrong if you buy the oil. Like in my Yamahas, I like to use Yamalube. In my Kawasaki's, I like to use their oil. I don't use full synthetic. I have had bad luck with full synthetic oils in motorcycles. I had a concourse and I ran it just fine, for about 35,000 miles. And I thought, well, let me go on ahead and change over to full synthetic. Why not? It's supposed to be the thing to do. And when I did, I made about another 1,000 miles and I blew a rod. And I was the only guy at that time, because that was in 2008, to have blown a rod. Everybody was so surprised that I even blew up a concourse. Well, I did. So you know what? And then before that, I had a DS11 where it was um, I ran it for many, many miles. I mean, like I don't know, 40,000 miles, and then I switched over to synthetic, and again, within 2,000 miles, I blew a rod. Um, Me and synthetics don't get along. Now, synthetics in my car is fine. They come with Mobile One. That's great, but I just haven't had good luck with synthetics. So anyway, this guy's draining over here, and we'll let that drain for a little while. And when it's all done, we will come back and we will put our plugs back in. We'll put our new oil filter in, and then go on ahead and fill this guy up. I've found um, some silicone funnels, and it's always a pain getting a funnel to work in some of these motorcycles. They don't stay, or you're struggling with it. But I found these little silicone funnels, and I think it might be the answer to making this thing so you can easily fill oil in almost anything. Um, they're We'll see how it works. We'll try it. Okay, so the oil's pretty much drained out. It's dribbling a little bit, but we're going to go on ahead and clean around inside where the oil filter goes. Make sure you get that surface nice and clean, no residue, no grit, no nothing. Then you take a little bit of oil, and we will go on ahead and give it a, like they say in the book, it says right on it. And then just wind on our new oil filter. Okay. And I've got an oil filter wrench here, so we'll just go on ahead and use it. I just like to get them snug down, and then just a little bit beyond that. This wrench will not allow you to over tighten, and that's about it. That's all you get. And we're going to go on ahead, put our nice new washer on. I've cleaned up the bolt a little bit. Make sure everything is clean here. And we will go on ahead and tighten this guy down. All right. Nice and tight. Everything's cleaned up. We're ready to go. Now, I think I'll take this oil out. Get this oil out of here. I need to make an oil run. I've been all this oil I change. Okay, that's that. So now, what we need to do is, well, let's put this cover back on. Make sure it's all cleaned up here. I had rinsed off the bike a little bit. Actually, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to put this cover back on quite yet. I want to polish up the pipes while I'm in here. And the best way to do that is with that cover off. So, put our tools away, but we need to go to the other side and go on ahead and get ready to put some oil back in this thing. So let's see. What we have here. So we'll just open this up a little bit. Turn our camera to where we can see. And this needs a 10 millimeter, so we just so happen to have that. So we're back with a 10 millimeter. Now this is about the only thing that's really gone wrong with the H2 here, is this cap is black anodized, and as you can see, this guy, it started out in life, you can see it's black on the inside, but the outside the sun has just baked off the anodized, and it ain't that doesn't make me real happy. And this guy, this is, but the problem is I ride this bike a lot, and it's in the sunshine, and this bike's got 78,000 miles on it, and with that many miles, it can be out in the sun for quite a while. So here's the funnels I was talking about, and I don't know if this is going to work. I can push it in, but it doesn't seem to. Well, wait a minute. Let's see. Maybe I can. Yeah, I can kind of hook it around the fairing here, and hopefully I can do this without making a big mess. So here's the oil. Kawasaki 1040, as suggested in the book. And let's see if this funnel does its thing. It may not. We may be making a mess here because it's well, so far so good. The good part is the funnel is not trying to escape. The angle that they put this thing at is ridiculous. I don't know what they were thinking. You know, for a bike that is so well thought out as the H2, I mean, everything is so engineered. The angle of this thing, they must have had some sort of, who knows what, idea going on. Keep it narrow, I guess. But boy, it makes it hard to put oil in it. And this cookie in 78,000 miles has had so many oil changes because I don't really like to go over 3,000 or 4,000 miles without changing the oil. And you got to understand, I ride this thing maybe 350, 400 miles each time I go out with it. Because contrary to popular belief, this is a comfortable motorcycle for me. I can ride it pretty much all day long. And still not have any real issues. And we did that without spilling one drop. Not one. That's awesome. Okay. So there's a little more has to go in there. We're going to have to light this thing off for a second and see and get the oil to come up, and then we can finish up putting it in the window. I guess we can go on ahead and do that now. He's not touching anything. Not. The clutch isn't. Not hitting the clutch. Well, we'll just go on ahead and get it primed up a little bit. I'm gonna put this on. Key is on. So let's just get this thing a quick start. Now we can continue on and get our oil up to level. And again, we'll put our funnel in that doesn't give us any trouble. Really like this. This funnel is working perfect. And how are we looking? Oh, we're not there yet. Still got a ways to go. And I forget how much this takes, but I think it's starting to come up now. I think you put in and it's close to the top mark. I think I'm just going to add just a little more. I've got more oil. And a little more. Just enough to get it up to the top here. I like to give it just an extra splash. Now I fill it not just to the full mark, but a little bit past, and the reason for that is, it's still going to get some nicks and crannies in there, but that is always just a little tiny bit above the full mark. It will come back down to the full mark pretty quickly. Okay, and the silicone funnel, it's just perfect. This thing just worked great. Rag in it, get it cleaned out, and it's ready for the next time. Oh, this is a dynamite funnel. And my wife gave me these, and I have no idea where she got them, so I'll ask her and then post it somewhere. But that's great. Now, we can go on ahead and make sure this is all cleaned up. Okay. And our oil change is done. No trouble at all. Okay, take this guy, because I'm going to take this guy and dump the old oil into it, and that will make life a little easier. So, our oil is changed. We are ready to go on to the next step. I'm going to go move the camera around a little bit. We'll get it focusing on the rear wheel, get the bike jacked up a little bit, and go on ahead and just kind of clean up the chain a little bit. We're not getting crazy. I just need to adjust it a little bit, and it's not that hard to do. So we'll go on ahead and get that done, and I'll be back. So now to work on the chain, what I've got here is a scissor jack, and I just put it under the rear suspension over here, right underneath where the links go, mostly toward the back. And we'll just wind this thing up and get it jacked up in the air a little bit. Now this has a direct relationship to the swing arm. So we're not undoing the suspension. It's whatever this thing comes up is where it is going to bring the rear wheel up. Now, I'm a little paranoid, so I've got a safety strap here, which once I wind it on, and if anything goes tippy on me, I can go on ahead and somewhere over here, I thought I had a 17 millimeter ratcheting thingy. There it is. Okay. And camera. Where was I? Okay. 17 millimeter ratcheting thingy. Sorry about the camera routine. And it will go on ahead and allow me to jack this thing up. And our rear wheel is loose. And that's all we want to do. So I'm going to take my strap here and just go on ahead and make sure that it's just snug. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. I don't want this thing falling off. Now, and you may ask, why am I so paranoid about that? Well, this bike has fallen off of this before. Before I had this front wheel holder, I had it on here and I heard a bang in the middle of the night, and this thing had come off the stand. And that was not a good thing to happen at all. Not even close. So now, how do I clean the chain here? Well, the way I like to do it is, yes, there's some chain cleaning chemicals and things like that you can use. But one of the best things that you can use is the actual chain lube you use itself. I lube the chain and then I wipe it off, and that gets it fairly clean, and then I can re-lube it again. It's just the way I like to do it. There's nothing special about it, but it does seem to get the job done fairly well. So what you do is just I take a paper towel here, and I go on ahead and lube the chain. Now I like to use chain wax. Now the reason I like chain wax is because this stuff does not make a mess. It does an excellent job of protecting the chain. And I've been using it for years and years and years and have had no issues whatsoever with it. Chains have lasted a long time. I think this can of chain wax is done. But just so happens I have a brand new one right here. And we will get it going. Now, one of the things that I've been doing here is I'm spraying this, and as I spray it, I'm jacking it just a little more because it seems to be, there we go, just right, that's better. So what it's doing is I'm soaking down this rag this towel as I go along. So now it's time to clean this off, and I'm just going to go on ahead and wipe down the chain because it's got plenty of lube on it now. And I've got this fancy gold and black chain, which looks really cool on there. I like it. But to each their own on what they like. And I just go on ahead, get this kickstand out of the way. Now this is the fourth chain, and it's probably going to be due in another 10,000 miles or so. But for now, It seems to be holding up pretty well. And I'm just going to go around the top side here now. And get this chain wiped off. And that's just about it. Nothing fancy, but we now have a relatively clean chain. And now, what I'm going to do is do the same thing here. I'm going to do some other cleanup in there because I've got a little bit of dirt. But now we can go on ahead and lube up this chain. Okay. And a little lube on the outside. We'll just take this, our rag that we sprayed against, and we'll just make sure the outside gets a little bit and it's clean. So we've kind of wiped off our chain, and we now need to adjust a little bit. Now that's just a little, the H2 is a little funny about, it kind of snaps around a little bit if the chain gets loose. So what we need to do is we're going to tighten this guy up. So the way we do that is we have to loosen up 2 bolts over here. And these are 2 8mm. Which are 8s or 10s. And you loosen those up. And then there's an eccentric that we turn. And I've got kind of a strange wrench that I use. It's a spanner, but it's kind of a big one that I got somewhere. Okay, we'll take our 10mm. And we'll loosen these 2 guys up. I've got this on a wobble socket, so that makes it a little easier to manipulate things. Got to loosen, when you loosen them, the first one you got to get really loose, or you're going to find out that it just tightens right back up. Okay, and now the second one will loosen up, and the first one is loose. Okay, so now to tighten up this chain, this is just a little bit loose for this guy. So what I have is this big spanner wrench, and it's about the right size for this guy. So I believe to tighten up this chain, all I have to do is hook it into this. In the back, there's a spanner type nut, and I've got this kind of wrench here that kind of hangs on to things, and we'll see if when I tighten it, nope, that's getting looser, so I'm going the wrong direction. So now I need to come up with it, go this direction, same drill, but now I'll just take it and get this a little tighter. And that's about where I want it. And that's the tightest it is right there. All chains always have a little bit of a tight spot going on, but the tightest, and it's not too tight. So that's good. So all we got to do now is tighten these guys back up. So we'll get this one tight. It's held in place now. Then we'll do the other side, and it will tighten up, and then the other side will get looser again, because you have to kind of make sure they're both going. 1, 2, one more time. You can see it. All right, that's good. So chain is adjusted, lubed, cleaned, all set to go. All we have to do is just take our little scissor jack out of here. And now we can unwind it by hand. we are good to go. Done. Chain's good. Oil is chain. Chain is good. I'm going to go in and I'm going to work on cleaning up the pipes a little bit, do a little cleanup in here, and then we'll continue on. So next I'm just going to clean up some parts underneath here a little bit. Underneath there's a little bit of road stuff on the links and so on in here. I just want to get this cleaned up and nice. And to be honest, it's a little bit of overspray of the chain lube. And so we want to just get that off of there because it doesn't look good. Matter of fact, dirt of any form doesn't look good on this bike, which we don't do. So this is a little heavier than what denatured alcohol is. So I'm going to use something a little bit stronger here. So this is a Acrosol. It's just kind of a naphtha type thing. And it's good for removing the thick kind of grease that happens on this kind of stuff. And it looks like it's cutting it away very quickly. And that's all clean now. And I'll go on ahead and put a little bit of residue on this part here. And that's cleaned up good enough. This just had a little bit of extra stuff on it. So now I'm going to go on ahead and see about polishing the pipes. Now, these pipes are extremely, they color because they're stainless steel. I'm going to try a couple different products. One that I know works fairly well is Autosol stainless steel polish. It will, if you work at it long enough, will remove some of the discoloration and it works really well. But this is Chemical Guide's heavy metal polish for chrome, stainless steel, and aluminum. So we're going to see if this stuff works. Yeah, you can polish. I mean, you know, if there's no discoloration, no big deal. But the discoloration is really hard to deal with, and it just doesn't look that good. So I'm going to take some of this Autosol and rub it around on a fairly discolored portion here. And as you can see, it kind of puts a, I don't know, you can see it's doing something. There's a little bit of kind of yellowish, whatever. Let me just get here and see if I can show you. The good part is, even if it doesn't take off the discoloration, it does shine things up very nicely. And as you can see, there's some dirt, and the pipes are clean, but you can see that that black stuff in there is kind of the oxidation, and that oxidation layer is coming off a little bit, but I'm rubbing fairly hard, and there's no real noticeable difference. Okay, so now I'm going to take and wipe off the pipe that I've just done. And it's shinier, there's no doubt about it. It looks better, but it's still very, very blue and purple. So we're going to take, and this time, we're going to take some of this Chemical Guide stuff. Let's see what it does. A fairly clean area of rag. And it could be that this stuff, I've used it on a couple things. It seems to work okay on some stuff, but I really haven't tried it on these pipes yet. And we'll see what it does. And again, it looks to be as good or taking off as much stuff as the auto saw, which is good. And I don't know if I'm working as hard at it. We'll see. Let me just we'll get this pipe kind of cleaned up. These pipes take a lot of abuse because there's so many miles on this bike. It really, I mean, I really ride it a lot. And it's been fantastic. And there's nothing like, I'm going to say this in this video, and I'm going to say it in others. There is nothing like turning the throttle on an H2. Nothing. It's like you died in finding out there's a heaven. It blows your mind. Even after all these miles, and I've known the fastest Kawasaki's my whole life. From the original H2, I bought a brand new one in 73, and 72 was the first year, 73 was the second year, and I always like to wait till the second year to at least, let them iron out the bugs. And in 73, they actually sorted the bike out a little more, not because to be less harsh, but actually it made more power. They worked on the carburation a little bit. The carburation was cleaner, but it was faster. Anyway, I bought a brand new one. And then I've had the first 900 Ninja and all the big Ninjas since. And, ZX10, the 900 Ninja, ZX10, ZX11, ZX12, and so on and so forth. And nothing compares to the way this thing runs. This thing is just so stunning. And it's so much fun. Every time you twist the throttle, you just go, oh, I don't believe it. Just so much fun. Well, the verdict on this stuff is it really didn't do much better, and it really didn't cut the color out, or the oxidation off very well. There is a product that will take the oxidation off like magic, and I'm going to do a video on that. And it is the Yoshimura stainless steel cleaner. That stuff will actually just, in a few seconds, turn brown oxidized pipes into just brand new shiny looking stuff. It's just amazing. But on the other hand, the pipe under here looks, it may still be it may be discolored, but it looks shiny and nice. So that's good. That's all we really cared about anyway. So now what we can do is, now that that's happened, oops, drop our screws here, we can go on ahead and put this guy back on. And relatively simple. Just take this and we'll put our, these got these rubber nuts on them, and they start really easy. That's really nice about these is you can, once you get them basically aimed in the right direction, they just go in and they start nicely. And this one here goes into the bottom one. This is a little tough to do because it's on the bracket underneath it kind of swings around. So you have to kind of fiddle around with it to get it to go in there. Maybe if I can get it to go in there at all. Oh, let me get this other one started. Maybe. Okay, that's in. Now we just got to get this guy started. And he will, a little hard with these gloves on. Go in there. There you go. Then you just have to get the other side of it in there. There we go. Got that. Now we can tighten these guys on. All right, so now we've polished up our pipe a little bit under there. I'll go the other side, polish it up. I'm not going to, don't need to record that. This was our experiment. We got our chain all done, our cleaned up. We did a little bit of cleaning on things, which this thing doesn't need much. I try to keep this motorcycle really, really clean. And but for the most part, we've got it basically serviced. Our brakes are basically new, both front and rear. Um, so that's an oil change and a quick service on the chain. And that was the service on our H2. It just nothing more than an oil change. Clean up the chain, get it all lubed up, get it ready for riding. And it doesn't matter if it's an H2 or a KZ400 or anything, a good oil change just never ever hurts. If you do it a little too often, even better. Keep the inside of your engine clean. I've pulled apart many an engine that has been just almost black and with brown varnish all over it, and you know that you can see the wear on the bearings and whatnot. Again, that H2 has gone 78,000 miles, 78,000 flawless miles with the front wheel in the air, just 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 going for it most of the time, and it's just been a flawless motorcycle. It's over engineered, but hey, that's what it is. So anyway, thanks for watching. In our next video, we will be doing other stuff. So again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe. I need them. We need to get the channel moving forward and get more information out. And always remember to comment if you have a question about something or anything that you would like to see, if I can do it. Most of the time I'm doing some repairs. I've been doing a bunch of restorations and sometimes just a build. And in like the KZ400 here is just getting a build. And it was the nastiest, evilest motorcycle in the world. But I bought it anyway, and it's been a challenge, but right now it is one of the prettiest bikes that you can imagine. I got to build some side covers for it, but it is just beautiful. And it is going to be a lot of fun to ride this bike. So anyway, don't forget to join us, and we will see you next time.